How's it going, everybody? My name is Richard Wilcox, and welcome to the very first episode of DickDoesGaming. If you're new here, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some news of the week. I'm going to run through what I've been playing and how I feel about it. And then, maybe anything else that comes up, like announcements at the end of the video, stuff like that. I've got a couple for this video. But yeah, so let's just jump right into the news. Biggest piece of news this past week, I think in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, is the announcement of Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games. Super duper excited about that. The very first Red Dead Redemption is one of my very favorite games of all time. And I think personally that Red Dead is the best franchise that Rockstar owns. Sorry, GTA lovers. Red Dead is the best franchise. Fight me about it. In other news, Overwatch still has not announced a new hero. For weeks, probably months now, everybody has been expecting Overwatch to announce Sombra, who is a long-rumored hero since the first beta last year before the game even came out. And to this day, we still don't have an announcement from a bunch of ARG, alternate reality games. There was a website that popped up with a loading bar that just finished and it still says nothing. There was a post on the Overwatch forums that led us to the website with the loading bar that nothing's happened with that yet. Quite frankly, Blizzard, announced the damn hero. I'm getting tired of it. I love Overwatch. I cannot get enough Overwatch. But man, this is starting to get old, Blizzard. Announce the damn hero. Thank you. All right, in other news, we got Dead Rising 4 Season Pass. Got some details finally. So that's cool, I guess. I'm not a big Season Pass guy myself, but, you know, if you are Season Pass, it says that the story content, and this is from IGN, by the way. Shout out to my boy, Michael Pasaluca. Sorry if I totally butchered your last name and you're watching this. The story content, titled Dead Rising 4 Frank's Rising, follows Frank West searching for a cure after being freshly infected in the DLC. That sounds cool. Super Ultra Red Dead Rising 4 Mini Golf will bring 18 holes of pure wanton destruction for up to 4 players. That sounds cool. But yeah, so that's cool, I guess, if you're into Dead Rising. I personally have never been a huge fan. I played the first and second one. First one I thought was garbage. Second one I thought was okay, but I had problems. I played the third one super duper briefly, and it was good, but I just didn't stick with it for too long. It came out when the Xbox One launched, and I didn't get an Xbox One at launch, so it's in my backlog, and I'm probably never going to play it. All right. I think that's pretty much wraps up all the important news of the day. I got a couple other news stories on here, but I don't think you guys are going to be interested in them. So what I'm going to jump right into, which I think is the main topic of this specific show in the first Dick Does Gaming, is I got a PlayStation VR last Thursday. Spent the weekend with it mostly. And whew, buddy, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Wow. So let's get a couple things out there right out the back. Does PSVR have the best resolution out of any head-mounted device? No. Does PSVR have the best motion tracking out of any head-mounted device? No. Is PSVR comparable in quality compared to the other two Oculus and Vive head-mounted devices? The answer, to be completely honest, is no. But let's look at what we're paying for here. The Vive, which is $800, is probably, in my opinion, I've tried all three, is the best VR headset on the market currently. It is $800, plus you need a pretty beefy PC to run it. So, and that's already out for me because I don't own a PC. The Oculus, again, it's I think $600, and you still need a pretty beefy PC to run for it. And then if you want the motion tracking with the Oculus, it's another $200 for the touch controller. So obviously, that's not an option for a lot of people. PlayStation VR at $399.99 marks the very first time that VR is available at a consumer price that is affordable for people who want it. I have been playing my PlayStation VR for the past weekend, and I have been nothing but impressed with it. I've got a variety of launch games from the big ones. I got Rigs by Guerrilla Games. I got Job Simulator by Alchemy Labs. I got Batman Arkham VR from Rocksteady. And those are like the three main ones I have. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Shout out to that game because I fucking love that game. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of touch upon some of the launch games, what I like about them and everything. So probably my favorite launch game is Job Simulator by Alchemy Labs. And a lot of them might shock a lot of people because there are a lot of games that I've talked about on Twitter, if you see me there, specifically Rigs. And that might shock a lot of people. But the reason why I find that Job Simulator is the best launch game available pound for pound is because that it takes the motion controllers and the VR headset and makes it shine. VR is the best when you play a game that uses motion controllers. And Batman Arkham VR does a great job with it, but Job Simulator, I think, is the only game at launch that takes the motion controllers and doesn't make it feel like an added-on gimmick. It doesn't make it feel like I'm playing a Wii game with a cool headset on. It doesn't make it feel like any of that. Like, when I'm playing Job Simulator with the motion controllers, it feels like it works. And that is the most exciting part for me, because I was afraid that these motion games with my VR headset were going to be all gimmicky, and I wouldn't stray too far from playing games with the controller even with the VR headset on. Job Simulator, you got 4 jobs you can do. Gourmet chef, 7-Eleven clerk, or store clerk. You work at a 7-Eleven. Auto mechanic, and office worker. And so, out of those 4, my favorite is probably the auto mechanic. I think that is the most funny. You've got a radio show on there it's just two dudes like talking back and forth about car parts they know nothing about, and I'm like 99% positive one of the voices is Justin Roiland, who is the creator of Rick and Morty, and that makes it even the more funny for me. The tasks are the most fun in the auto mechanic one, I think. But that being said, all the jobs are great, and I love all of them. And if you have a PlayStation VR headset, I think this is definitely a game you need to look at, and I think it's definitely a game you should consider getting. My second favorite game is, of course, Rigs, Mechanized Combat League. Rigs, I think, takes the first-person shooter genre, puts it into VR, and makes it work. I would like to add, though, that I do not get motion sickness at all. I've never gotten motion sickness from VR. I've tried it on numerous occasions. I own a headset now, obviously, so I don't get car sick either. So Rigs is definitely a game. The reason why I put it at second is because Rigs is definitely a game that if you get motion sickness, you probably shouldn't play. Because you're running around. It's fast paced. It's a high action sport basically, like inside the game. So, in VR that can be really, really disorienting for people who get motion sickness really easily, stuff like that. That's the reason why I kind of bumped it down a little bit. Rigs is a lot of fun. I think the game modes are awesome. You have 3 game modes, End Zone, Power Play, and I actually can't remember the third one because I rarely ever play it. My favorite 2 are End Zone and Power Play. And basically Power Play, how it works is you just kill people, or you don't kill people. You destroy other rigs until you go into overdrive mode, and then you have to score a goal while in overdrive mode. And then End Zone is basically just super duper messed up football. It's 3-on-3 football with robots, and it's super fun. It's super awesome. It's super fast paced. I dig it. I love it so much. Batman Arkham VR is awesome. For a $20 experience, you can't go wrong. It's short, so don't get me wrong. Don't go in expecting, a really long experience. I think I spent an hour and a half with it, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And it was a lot of fun. The story is a lot darker than you'd expect, which I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's awesome. I really enjoyed the story. And they definitely tell it in a way where it's like the whole time I was like kind of seeing where it was going, but I was like, nah, they're going to back away and it's going to be like a dream sequence. They're going to back away and it's going to be like whatever. And at the end of the game just ends. So I don't think it was a dream sequence. Maybe I read into it wrong, but it definitely felt like it was not, and it was all real, and everything that happened really happened. So that was crazy to me. And if you played it, or you're going to play it, I don't. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't played it yet, I don't want to spoil it for you. So that's that. The Riddler trophies add a little replayability into the Batman. I haven't really gone back and checked it out yet. But the one thing I definitely think Batman lacks is replayability. So, because I haven't really desired to go back to it at all. But so that's why it's super low on my list. And then so those are my top 3 games. And then honorable mentions. I already mentioned one. Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. The reason why I didn't put this in my top 3 is because this game's only fun if you have people to play it with. It's not really. I don't think you can play it by yourself. And like I have 2 roommates, so I always have 2 people to play it with whenever we want to play it, as long as none of us are busy. And so like I have that ability, but like if you have no one that's going to want to play with you, then it's not fun. But basically, Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes is the person wearing the VR headset is sitting in a police interrogation room, and you are defusing a bomb, and the person that is in real life is looking at the TV, and they have a bomb defusal manual, and you have to describe to them what you're seeing, and they have to describe to you what you have to do to defuse it. Super wacky, super fun, gets super hard. It's great for parties. It's great for like when you have friends over. So like that's definitely getting an honorable mention. Another honorable mention is Thumper VR. Holy shit, Thumper VR. Thumper VR is a must-buy PlayStation VR game if you're into rhythm games and music. I repeat, Thumper is a must-buy game. I cannot get enough of Thumper. And the reason it's not on my top 3 is because not a lot of people dig rhythm games, so I didn't want to like throw it in there. And a lot of people be like, "Oh, fuck this list. Like, there's already one game I hate on it. It would be my number 1 if it was on the list." But Thumper is like it's a rhythm violence game. You're a little beetle thing, and you've got like there's music playing in your headset, and you're like trying to like bounce and like dodge things to the beat, and then if you complete a sequence of stuff, you beat a level, and then once you get to a boss, if you beat a sequence of stuff, you actually hit you shoot a missile at the boss. And so like it's colorful, it's fun, it's exciting, it's brutal, it's so hard, it's awesome, and it's one of the games that I have a roommate that's not super into video games, that he'll play sports games with us occasionally, and that's about it. And Thumper is a game that he actually goes out of his way to ask me if he can play it. And that makes me happy, and I love Thumper, so it's definitely going on my list. Alright guys, well, I talked about VR for a little bit, and how much I love it, and how I think it is a seminal addition to the gaming industry. I think there hasn't been an innovation this important to the game industry since the creation of the joystick. So this is huge for the game industry. This is a very small step. PlayStation VR is not the final answer. It's not the final, it's not the end-all, say-all, but it is a great step. I love it. My roommates love it. It seems like a lot of people on the internet love it. So, it's great. I'm going to end the show today, and just with a couple of announcements. Of course, if you don't already follow me on Twitter, link is in the description. Please click that link. Please follow me on Twitter. I would love for all you guys to follow me on Twitter. I love engaging with you guys, talking about stuff. It's so much fun for me. I'm doing Extra Life this year, as this jacket would say. I don't know if you can see it. Me. Extra Life 2015. I'm on Team Kinda Funny, and I am raising money to help kids in need. The Extra Life is an awesome thing, and World of Game Day is November 5th. Yes, it is 100% November 5th. And I'm doing a 24-hour stream that day. I'm going to be streaming for 24 hours straight from 9 a.m. on November 5th to 9 a.m. on November 6th. I'm finalizing the list of games I'm going to play, which is probably going to change when I actually do stream. But so you guys have an idea of what I'm going to do. That should be out pretty soon. But link in the description below for my Extra Life page if you guys want to donate or even just share it. You guys don't even need to donate. If you guys just do me a solid and share the page, I would be forever in your debt. Obviously, if you like this video, drop a like on the video. Hit subscribe on my channel. If you already subscribed to my channel, go check out my unboxing I did last week. I just got an Elgato HD60S, which I promise I'm using. I recorded gameplay on it, and there was no audio. So I have to figure out what's going on with that. But I'm sure it's going to be no problem. I hopefully have gameplay up sometime this week. I recorded Batman VR gameplay for you guys. Audio didn't register. I'm going to go through, I'm going to record again, hopefully get audio this time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please hit like and subscribe if you get a chance. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Share this with your grandma, even though she probably doesn't even know what a video game is. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day.